Hey guys, so welcome to the second video of the G-Wall weekly series. So we have decided to change the recipe a little bit. Instead of making one weekly video that regroups everything, we're going to separate the videos in two. So the first video of the week is going to be a weekly analysis and where do I see things going from the different markets with the G-Wall. And the second video of the week is going to be the Q&A, so the questions from the user that I try to answer. So I see you soon, and I hope you're going to enjoy this video. So this question is from Anderson. A question as I have is, how triggers the red and green flash, and would you take a trade just on the flash alone? Seems to be right most of the time. So what is Anderson talking about exactly? He's talking about those background alerts over there. So you have the red and the green, right? So those are called the God mode background alerts that are included in G-Wall. And so the God mode specifically is a combination of multiple momentum oscillators. So when they all go into extreme territories, it gives you an alert. So for example, when you have the RSI, the stochastic, CCI, etc., when they are very in the oversold region, it's going to trigger the alerts, the background alerts, right? So now, would I take a trade just based on that? No, and here's why. It's true that it's right most of the time, but the main way that you want to use the background alert is to get out of your position in case you are in profit, basically. It's basically telling you we might hit a consolidation period, maybe a reversal, but consolidation for sure. All right. So I'm going to go to a daily time frame, which is going to be more representative, I think. There you go. And that's the perfect example over there. So you have the background alerts there, which is basically telling you the daily at this point is very extended to the downside on all the momentum oscillators, right? But looking at the G-Wall itself, you don't have a signal, you don't have a buy signal there, right? So maybe you got short previously from this perfect sell signal over there. And so when you hit this background alert there, might be a good time to start taking some profit, right? So usually the way it works, and the way I like to use it at least, is when I get the background alerts, it's basically telling me that a signal or potential signal is coming, right? So I get the background alerts on those candles, and I get the actual buy signal. So I get one over there and one over there. So I get a buy signal on that candle, and I get another buy signal on that candle. So that one ends up probably hitting the stop loss, and that one ends up playing rather well. So that's how I like to use it. Is once I get the background signals, background alerts, I wait for the signal that comes after that. And if I am in a current position, I take profit. So let's see if we can see some more example. Yeah, there you go. Background alerts over there. So the daily is a little bit extended on the momentum, right? But doesn't mean you get a reversal. You actually don't, right? Keeps on going. So if you were long from that signal or any lower time frame entries in there, might be a good time to take some profit. But doesn't mean you have to go short, and you should not, right? Because it keeps on going. Let's see if I see some more example. You get one recently there, right? So you get the background signal actually starts on that candle, and right after that it gives you another decent move on the opposite direction. So again, I would not take background colors as entry signal. Really just take profit. So if somehow again you got long maybe on that signal over there, then now is the time to take some profit. And you can see that you hit some consolidation flatline straight way basically. So might be a good time to take some profit, get out, and reassess the chart and wait for the next entry basically, which actually it gives you right over there, gives you a sell signal. and it gives you another sell signal over there and over there, right? So you have the background alert, there is another throw, and then you get a series of sell signal, which eventually gonna end up being good moves or not. That we'll see. We have a question from Bitman Bob. So I've previously purchased Cron's technical analysis program, and I was now inquiring about the Dual. With the purchase of the Dual subscriptions, is there many tutorial videos on how to use it? Yes, absolutely. So once you have once you get your Dual subscription from the store, whether you get the 3 months Dual package or the monthly subscription there, then you go to My Programs, you go to the Dual tier, and you will get access to all the videos in there that tells you all about not only the Dual, but also the other indicators that come with it. So the stochastics, the RSI, the Fibonacci, right? And so you have the explanation for the Dual from Cron himself. You have the tutorial video from myself, all the setup settings that I used, all the different signals that you're going to read from it, and how to manage your positions based on the Dual, right? And there is also a little bonus video dedicated specifically to forex trading with the Dual. This question is from Alex Switch. What about trading with ADX Line on low time frames forex? Okay, so what exactly is he talking about? So the ADX line on the Dual is this red and green line over there. So this is actually the Fibonacci line. So it's basically an automatic Fibonacci curves that show you the retracement percentages. But the ADX in there is the green and the red. So when it's green, the ADX ADI is positive. When it's red, it's negative. So it's kind of like exactly like using the ADX ADI indicator and going with the signals when the ADI goes over the ADX, right? And vice versa. So what he noticed is that this line, so it's actually the auto fib line, is basically kind of shows the reversal, right? Because when you have kind of a signal over there, exact same thing over here, right? So if we look at it properly, though, because it's behind it is a Fibonacci calculation, right? It's an auto fib line. So you have the fib line going into this bullish zone, so to speak, right? But here's the thing, you never know. So if we check it properly, goes in the bullish line on this candle and actually stays there for a little bit, right? And then turns red and drops back down on here. I would say same thing over there. Drops back down here. And same thing over there and drops back down here. So yes, it shows you when we are reaching getting to extreme level, basically in the fib calculation. But would I use that as a signal and trade based on it? I would not do that personally, just because you never know. If we zoom in, for example, on that one, you never know exactly the extent of the retracement. So say all that zone over there, it's in extreme territory. So you are basically, from that point of view, expecting a retracement, right? But when exactly is it going to retrace? And that doesn't really show it, right? You don't know, you cannot base your entry based on that. On the other hand, if you use it in confluence with the momentum of the Dual, then you can see you have your sell signal there, right here on the 5 minutes. Oops, right? And on top of that, you have that fib line, fib curves going down, going and crossing back into the that would be the less bullish zone, so to speak, and on top of that it turns red right on this candle, then you have multiple points, arguments telling you might be a good time to get short or might be a good time to close your long on that move there, right? Would I use just the fib line alone? I'm not convinced. I don't think it's enough for me to show me a reversal or based an entry on it. But I mean, if you really get good at it and just use that line only if you want to, then be my guest. Again, on the in the settings there, you can hide everything if you want and show just that line, which is the fib line, right? And so just a quick word about this Fibonacci line. It calculates the retracements automatically, right? So when you go from a very low level, the retracements have a good chance to stop on a 618, which is what you have over there. You have a good chance to stop here. So if somehow you manage to catch that low, when your fib line reaches the 618 right here, you might want to take a break. So by the way, the midline is at the 50, and again you can see it has some reactions to the 50 retracements as well, right? So you can use those levels as well, the 50. So that would be, for example, over there, that would be a retracement to 38.2, right? Same, I would say, exactly the same from those level over there, right? You have the 50, the 618, you can see the bounce from the 618. Use the 618. So when you go from 100 to 38.2, then you have a 61.8 retracements, right? If you do the if you are familiar with the Fibonacci retracements, then you will know how to use that to perfection. Let's see if I see other examples over there. So you have again retracements there. So you went from the 100 to that level over there. So that would be a 61.8 retracement, right? 100 to 38.2 minus 38.2 equals 618. So that would be your 618 there. So you wanna maybe take a long entry over there. So yeah, can you base your trades just with that curve and the change of color when you change from green to red, etc.? Yes. Would I do I do that personally? No. So that question is from Smitty. How not to trade the jewel? Mistakes and experience in the past. All right, so that's actually a really good question, because there are ways that you can really blow up your account with the jewel as well, especially if you're not treated right. So, and there's a really good example, a few good examples there during this period, which is from July 2016 to July 2018, which we all remember as being the bull run, right? Bitcoin went from $400 to about 20,000. So, and here's the thing. You have, the jewel is just a momentum oscillator, okay? Nothing more. Even if it takes into account a lot of the standard momentum oscillators, it still remains that it's just a momentum oscillator, right? So it's going to tell you when it loses momentum, but it's just simply losing momentum doesn't mean that it's going to go in reverse, right? Doesn't mean that the train is going to change. Just because you are in a car and you brake and you start braking at a red light doesn't mean that you're going to shift reverse and go backwards, right? So, and you have to, so the jewel actually shows that. It shows loss of momentum. Doesn't mean reversal, absolutely. And those are pretty good example. So we had over there, so a bull run, right? And if we look at the if you look at the weekly, this is a very, very strong uptrend, right? So of course, when you get signals on a daily for it, doesn't mean that the weekly is gonna reverse. So you get pretty hard sell signals and picture perfect sell signals, but I'm going to give you one. There you go. That's a good example there. So you have a picture perfect sell signal there, right over there. So let's say you went short on that, right? You get this move, but does that mean, but it doesn't mean that it actually reverses on the weekly. So you get this right after, and you get quite a few like this during the bull run. Sell signals that don't really, okay, that was the top. So on that one, as an example, sell signal, and it did reverse on the weekly. Doesn't mean that it's going to do that every time. And so if you don't treat the signal properly, it's going to take care of you. In other words, playing a sell signal on the daily while you have a very strong weekly uptrend, you got to be careful as to how much exactly do you want to take profit on. And I would say because you are on a very big weekly uptrend, there is a lot of chances that your daily low is going to be over the previous swing high, right? So you want to take profit really quickly, otherwise you can blow up your account. Because if you simply stay on the wrong side of the trend and you try to play all the sell signals over there, right? Well, you end up trading that. Okay, that one was good, but you end up trading. Oh, that one is a really good one. You have a sell signal over there, and it barely moves down. For most of it, it stayed coming back up, right? So you have the sell signal over there, but all it does was goes flat, right? So, and that's I would say the improper way to use the jewel. What you want to do instead of checking the sell signals is take the bounce of the Fibonacci level. So the 38.2, which is this gray horizontal line over there. And you can see how many times it bounces from it. Right? You want to take those long, especially if you have a really strong weekly uptrend like you have right now. You want to take long signals instead of go short and hoping for a weekly reversal, which you might not get for 2 years, right? So instead, be on the good side of the trend and take those long signals, the bounce from the bearish zone, basically, right? So the improper way and the major screw up that you can do with the jewel is trying to go counter trend, taking short signals or long signals, a counter trend, and hoping for a reversal that never comes. So you end up taking shorts, get it. Stop loss gets it every time. Take the short, stop loss gets it. Take the short, stop loss gets it a week after, etc., etc. Whereas if you instead take the long signals on the good side of the trend, you end up trading from 300 to 20,000, right? So that's the thing with momentum oscillator, right? You never know if the reversal is going to come with the signal. You just know that there is a loss of momentum, and that's what you need to interpret it as. Nothing more than that, just a loss of momentum. This question is from Jeffro. I am interested in the jewel for trading the 5, 15, and 30 minutes time frames on Forex. Is it effective? Is it as effective at catching moves if used this way? So you know what? Let's do it live. Let's check it right away. I'm going to go on USDC 80 because I'm in Canada, so why not? So you want the 5, 15, and 30 minutes. Let's go with the 15, the middle one, and let's backtest that theory. See how it works and how it performs. So Forex is a little bit different of a beast. That was COVID. Different beast in the sense that you don't really go for the big directional trade. Forex is mostly for scalping, I would say. So especially since you go with 500x on Forex on certain exchanges. So let's check out, we're going to check out this period over there. See if the 15 minutes catches this move. Okay, I lost my period. What is it? Okay, it doesn't go back that way. Okay, it's fine. We're gonna take another one. There you go. Let's see this consolidation period over there. All right. So what signals do we have? We have one picture perfect buy signals over there. See the blue coming down on the purple and the yellow using both as support, and you get that move. That's a buy signal. You even get a continuation, what I like to call a continuation signal over there. So that would be your entry, and that would be you add to your position in case you wait for more. In case you don't enter your position 100% right away, then you eventually get a continuation signal. So which is the blue, again using purple and yellow as support and bouncing from them. So you get a continuation signal over there on 15. Let's see. We have a not picture perfect sell signal because the yellow is not over, but the blue is using the purple as a resistance over there. So it's not perfect, but it works. You get this. So let's say you entered long on one of those signals. That's definitely a take profit signal already, right? You get another short signal over there, but it's in the under the neutral area. It's in the bearish area, so the momentum that you're gonna get from it is gonna be pretty low. Still work though. And if you actually hold the signal, you get this, but you have a picture perfect buy signal on the 15 minutes over there, and you get this. Let's see, let's keep going. You have another buy signal over there. That's a weak one. It's not a picture perfect because the blue is going through the purple, right? But it still is a buy signal. Let's see. That's another buy signal over there. You catch that one. That would be a sell signal over there, a weak one, but a sell signal nonetheless. See the blue going up. It's actually using the 38.2 horizontal there as a resistance. You get a continuation signal over there. Pretty weak one again. The momentum is already all the way down, so I would again treat this signal as such, right? Momentum is all the way down, so don't expect a huge drop from it. Again, they're a weak buy signal because the yellow is not turning up, but it is a weak buy signal in the sense that the blue uses the purple as support. You have, that's a weak sell. Again, blue using the purple as resistance. Weak buy. So far, so good. That one would be wrong. So this is a buy signal, right? But it ends up not playing like you want it at all. That one is a loss because it comes back. You have actually another buy signal over there. And you have another weak buy signal over there. Okay, let's keep going. You have a few weak sell. That one ended up being a loss. That's another weak sell. That one is a win. Weak buy. Okay, we can keep going like this, but I would say overall it performed pretty well on the 15 minutes. I'm gonna go over the 5 minutes real quick there. Where is my chart? Where is my, oh, okay. Let's go over the 5 minutes to see how it does. Hang on. You have a sell signal. That's a win. You have a buy signal. Ends up not giving you that much. Still is a win though, but you gotta manage that one properly. Eh? That's a buy. Weak buy, but a buy. Buy signal. Same over there. Weak buy. No, actually that's a picture perfect buy. You have sell, weak sell. Weak sell, weak sell again. All those are wins. That's a buy signal over there. You have a buy over there. So I would say on the 5 minutes, it actually performs even better than the 30 minute, the 15. But it's forex that things moves really fast. So check out the 30 minutes just to be curious there. That's a sell. That is a weak sell. And you have the bounce on the 618 as well that you can use. A little bit touchier, I would say, on forex. I would not go with the 618 there. The bounce from the 618 and the 38.2. See those two horizontal lines there? On forex, I would be careful with those. I would prefer the signals, the actually proper signal like that one. That's actually giving you a real good buy there. Or that one would not be working for you. That's a picture perfect one, but ends up doing this and just then comes back down just the day after. I would probably stick with the 5 minutes on forex. Plus, I mean, forex moves so fast, you don't really need to go, I would say, over the 5 minutes to make money, basically, especially if you have the jewel. After that, it's up to you, really, depending on your trading style. Yeah, you see that 30 minutes buy signal there ends up, again, not really working. Works a little bit, but then gives you another, like 2 other throwback over there. So I would stick with the 5 minutes. 5 minutes seems really efficient with forex. So we have a question from Mad Crypto. The question is, signals in the neutral area would be good. Often they can play out, but often if you posted a link to the screenshot in the Discord, you'd have people telling you not to play it. All right, so what Mad Crypto is talking about are the signals that you're gonna get in the middle area. So by the middle area, I mean exactly this area. So this is considered the neutral zone. You have the bullish zone, the bearish zone, right? So this is the neutral zone. And so what Mad Crypto is asking is that the signals that you would get in that neutral area, usually people on Discord would tell you not to play it. So, and here is why. People on Discord will tell you not to play those most of the time because the jewel is a momentum oscillator, right? So what does that mean? It means that if you get a signal like this one right here, I'm gonna highlight this better a little bit. If I can find my things, there you go. This one, right? So the signal being the blue going to the purple, coming back down, and the purple being underneath the yellow. So that would be a sell signal, which happened right over there. So since jewel is a momentum oscillator, what does that mean when you get a signal in there? It means that the momentum that you're going to get from the signal might be pretty much exhausted already, right? So a signal that you would get from here, of course, means that the momentum is reversing. So if you take a momentum reversal from all the way up here, then you have the momentum, the potential of the move going all the way back down. Whereas if you take the signal from over there, the momentum, there is only so much space between the bottom, basically, of the momentum and the beginning of the signal. Okay, so, but why would on Discord people tell you not to play those? So that's the first reason. Second reason is this. The very first indicator that I've made for Crown, and I'm going to add it over there. Stochastics. Oh, that's going to be in my invite only. Crown Trading Stochastics. There you go. The very first indicator there was based on stochastics only. And on stochastics, the calculation, so to speak, is a little bit different. So if you take, for example, this signal in the stochastics there, that would be the exact same thing as the jewel, right? So you have the blue coming up on the purple, using it as a resistance and bouncing back from it, right? But all you get is this move over there, so pretty low move, right? And so because of the way the stochastics works, the calculations behind it, usually you avoid taking signals that are in that neutral area there. Thing is, with the dual, it's not just the stochastics that are in it. There are a lot of different oscillators like RSI, like CCI, and others. So, is a signal in the middle zone valid on the dual? Yes, it is, as long as you treat it as such. In other words, I'm going to explain that. This is a bottom signal. That's a bottom one. That would be considered a neutral zone signal over there. I'm going to remove this one so we have our space. So that would be considered a middle, right? Middle signal, because it's in this neutral area. So it is valid. It can be played on the dual as long as you treat it as a signal that is in the neutral area. In other words, you might have less momentum to go all the way down. In that case, it did. Most of the time, the signal is going to play out, right? And so, are the signals valid in the neutral area for the dual? Yes. Are they valid for the stochastics? Not really. Okay. If I add the other one that I've made after the stochastics, so the controlling RSI, which work the exact same way, then the RSI is actually the complete opposite. The RSI is really good for continuation signal in the neutral area, right? And so, as an example, that one there is a continuation signal. So basically, it's telling you that this downtrend is continuing down. Let me see, you have one over there, just that one, right? It's telling you that it's going down. And as we know, the RSI can get really strong or really weak. So you actually want to take signals from the RSI. You want to take basically short signal when the RSI is weak. You want to check long signal when the RSI is strong, right? And that's why, because the dual use all those different momentum oscillators, taking signals in the neutral zone are valid on it, as long as, of course, you know what you're doing and you treat it as such. Okay. So we have a question from Ivo. Question is it possible to make the God mode so that we can get a trigger alarm on TradingView? So the God mode, for if you're a neophyte, the God mode alerts are the green and red backgrounds that you see on the dual when some extreme level are achieved. So the green one is the pretty much oversold on all oscillators, and the red one is overbought on all oscillators. So is it possible to have an alert, make an alert based on that? Not yet, although I will be making an update to the dual indicator, and I'm going to add a whole bunch of custom alerts that you're going to be able to create. I think I'm even going to make a helper script that you're going to be able to make the strategy out of the dual. So that's coming up, just not now, just need a little bit more time on this. We'll keep you posted. The next question from Mad Crypto is, so he wants to know about the relevancy of dual timeframes to each other. For example, you see a buy signal on the 4 hour and a sell signal in play or developing in a lower time frame. So how to play those. So the way I like to use it personally is this. So you have right over there, you have a sell signal, which we call a perfect picture perfect sell signal, which is when the blue uses the purple as resistance and the purple uses the yellow as resistance. So when all three lined up like this, it's usually a good sell signal, right? So you have one on the 12 hour there. The thing is this, is the signal starts forming basically from the entire range there, which is quite a few candles if you look at that, right? So what I like to do when I see a sell signal forming this is switch back to lower time frame to see if I can get a good entry again using the dual. So since we are on a 12-hour there, we can switch to, say, the 4-hour to begin. And as you can see in there on the 4-hour, you have your perfect signal over there, right here on this candle, and it's confirmed, okay, on with the next candle after that, right? And you can go as deep as you want on that. So you can go down. So if you see the 4-hour signal forming here, then you can go down again to the 1-hour and wait for the sell signal on the 1-hour, which in that specific case you don't really get, right? So sometimes going too deep down is not good, but most of the time it's going to work that way. So if you switch back again, switch back down to the 30-minute same, and you go, you get your sell signal over there. Exactly. Picture perfect sell one, right? So you catch that one. It's on a 30 minutes, right? So you have time to play that one. You catch it here, and that basically is a 30-minute sell signal into a 4-hour sell signal, right? Into a 12-hour sell signal. So you end up having an entry based on the 30 minutes for a 12-hour sell signal. So you are basically maximizing your risk reward over there. Because you are using the 30-minute time frame for the sell signal, you can base your stop really close. Therefore, your risk reward is going to be much greater because you are playing actually on a 12-hour signal, but you're basing your entry on a 30 minutes. So that can get pretty good, and you can go down to the as low as the 5 minutes if you want to, depending on the assets that you're trading, of course. I would not recommend the 5 minutes for Bitcoin, that's for sure. Yeah, so that's how I use the dual and match the time frames to try and get the perfect entries, basically. So thank you guys for your time and the questions. We're going to take more questions next week. You can send them to support@crowdfunding.net or directly to me in Discord at Montfort. We currently are running the 20% off for another 15 days or so. You are able to get in the app 20% of all the programs that Crown has made. So the TA, the Neophyte, the options, also the dual 3-month package, and also the new program, the Pine Mastery, that teaches you how to code your own indicator and strategies. And I wish you the best. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next week.